Hello, third graders. Welcome to lesson 5 of the human body systems and senses. This lesson is titled The Nervous System. Here's some vocabulary that you will hear throughout the read aloud. You hear the word command. Command is a noun. It means control or power. So what kind of noun would it be? Can you see command? No, so it would be an abstract noun. An example is there are certain parts of the body that we have command over, like the voluntary muscles. Then we have the word consciously, which is an adverb. It describes a verb done on purpose, deliberately. Coordinates is a verb. Not coordinates. Coordinates. Coordinates is a verb, something that is done to make different things work together effectively as a whole. Fibers are nouns. Thin, thread-like cells. Receptors, also nouns. Organs or nerve endings that receive information from inside and outside the body and send that information to the brain. Reflex is a noun, an action that happens almost instantly, often without the brain sending a message to perform the action. Unconsciously is an adverb. It describes a verb, and it's done without being aware, unconsciously. So do you remember what we've learned so far? The various human body systems are interconnected. That means that they work together to make our bodies the way they're supposed to be. So what are the other systems you've heard about that are interconnected with the muscular system? Well, we know the nervous system and the digestive system are interconnected with the muscular system, right? You have muscles inside your organs, such as your stomach, which works to digest your food. And then we're going to learn more about the nervous system today. So there's 3 different types of muscles, right? Skeletal muscles, cardiac muscles, and smooth muscles. So your skeletal muscles are the muscles you'd probably think about first. They're the muscles that help move your skeleton. Your cardiac muscles are the muscles that are in your heart and help your heart pump. And then the smooth muscles are the muscles that are inside and make up your organs and help your organs to work. Do you remember what's the difference between voluntary and involuntary muscles? Well, voluntary muscles are muscles that you choose to move, right? So your brain sends a signal to your arm to make your fingers move while you're playing the piano. Your fingers don't just move on their own. You make the decision to make your fingers move. Whereas muscles like the cardiac muscle that pumps your heart does it without you even thinking about it. You don't even have to think about it. So those are involuntary muscles that move by themselves. You don't even have to think about them. Do you remember that system we're going to learn about today is a system that controls all the other body systems? Look at Ricardo's t-shirt again. Make some predictions of what is on his t-shirt and what it has to do with the nervous system. Right, so you'll be learning about the nervous system for the next 2 read-alouds. And you're going to hear how the nervous system is closely interconnected with the other systems of the human body. So nervous, the word nervous in this context, how we're talking about it now, it doesn't have anything to do with feeling anxious, worried, or scared about something, okay? It's a different meaning of the word nervous. All right, so we're going to talk about what the nervous system controls and how it works with the rest of your body. If you remember our systems, we've talked about the skeletal system, the muscular system. Now we're talking about the nervous system. Some other systems we talked about a little bit is our digestive system, our excretory system, our circulatory system, and our respiratory system. We talked about how they're all interconnected. All right, let's get started. Stand up and stretch with me a moment before we begin. Put your hands on your hip bones and bend forward as far as you can. Now straighten back up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. That's better. Go ahead and do it. Now I'm ready to get started. Are you? As you sit back down again, think about the body systems you used to move just now. Did you use your skeletal system? You bet. How about your muscular system? Absolutely. Your muscles helped move your bones when you stood up and bent down. But how did your muscles move? What told them what to do? Your brain. And your brain is part of a very important system. Does anyone know what that system is called? Yes, the nervous system. The nervous system is your body's command system, the one that sends orders to all parts of your body. It is your communication system carrying messages that control all other systems. The central nervous system includes the brain and the spinal cord. Without these central controllers, none of your body's other functions would happen. So you can see in the picture your brain and then how it's connected to your spinal cord and how all your nerves come off of it. Your brain is a soft mass of tissue protected by your skull, a rigid helmet-like structure of bones encasing the brain. The spinal cord, the main nerve pathway between your brain and the rest of your body, looks like a long, thick rope. It extends from the back of your skull or brainstem to your tailbone. Stretching down the back, this rope-like cord weaves its way through openings in your back's bony vertebrae. Your spinal cord is protected by your spinal column, this flexible column of vertebrae. So the skeletal and nervous system are closely interconnected. Why do you think it's important that the vertebrae of the backbone protect the spinal cord? What would happen if your spinal cord got damaged? Would your brain be able to tell your body what to do? A network of nerves links your brain and spinal cord to muscles and sense organs all over your body. Each nerve is a bundle of fibers, tiny thread-like cells encased in thin, fatty tissue. These bundles of specialized cells carry messages to and from the brain. These messages travel faster than the blink of an eye. Some nerve cells collect messages from your brain and carry them to your muscles. This is what happened when you stood and bent over a few minutes ago. You consciously controlled your own actions with your brain. So you decided to do it. First, you made the conscious decisions to stand, and your brain received that decision. Then electrical signals were sent out from your brain along nerve fibers to your muscles, telling them to tighten or contract. For every movement that you made, your brain coordinates the timing of muscle contractions, telling your muscles when to tighten, how much to tighten, and for how long. Your nervous system works with your bones and muscles to follow your brain's commands. So the nervous system is closely connected with the skeletal and muscular system. Some nerve cells collect messages from parts of your body and from your environment and the world around you. These nerve cells are called receptors. Receptors collect messages from your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Each of your 5 senses works with your brain to help you understand the world around you. Eyes pick up light and color and send pictures to the brain to help you see. Ears pick up vibrations from sound waves, carrying them to the brain to help you hear. Sensory cells in the nose react to chemicals in the air, sending messages to the brain to help you smell. Cells on the tongue react to chemicals in food, sending signals to the brain to help you taste. Receptors in your skin detect many different sensations, alerting your brain and spinal cord to feelings of pain, heat, cold, pressure, and touch. Many times, nerve signals pass through both your brain and spinal cord, but not always. Have you ever touched a hot iron or a hot pot on the stove? What happened? Most likely, you jerked your hand away from the heat very quickly, almost unconsciously. The nerves in your fingers sent signals to your spinal cord, but this time you did not need your brain at all. Your spinal cord sent a message to your arm muscles telling them to contract and pull back. This super quick reaction to an emergency situation is called a reflex action because the body acts automatically without thinking. Some of you may remember being at the doctor's office for a checkup when the doctor or nurse tapped your knee gently with a hard rubber tool called a plexer. What did your leg do when it was tapped? Other common reflex actions are flinching and sneezing. So if your knee got hit, remember it just kicks really fast without you even thinking about it. In fact, if you tried to stop it by thinking about it, you wouldn't even be able to stop it. That's a reflex action. Because a nerve is made up of many cells, nerves can send many messages at once. Each nerve cell sends its own message through the nerve. You've learned that some nerve cells collect messages from the brain, whereas others collect messages from the environment. Still, other nerve cells collect messages from inside your body. Inside the human body, the brain and spinal cord work together day and night, coordinating many activities that we don't really think about too often. For example, your breathing is controlled by the central nervous system. What else is going on under your skin that seems involuntary or automatic? Digestion, heart rate, and sleep patterns are all automatically controlled by the brain and spinal cord. Your emotions, moods, and memories are controlled and managed by the nervous system too. The body's command center, with its network of nerves, is always working even while you sleep. Thank goodness. Thank goodness we don't have to think about our heart beating or breathing while we're sleeping. That would be exhausting. Hundreds of billions of microscopic cells are sending messages that go dashing about your body at amazing speeds every second. Many of these cells are bundled up inside nerves, the body's wiring. These nerves branch out in all directions, carrying tiny electrical chemical signals from your brain and spinal cord to the tips of your fingers and toes, to the inside of your ears and eyes, and to every other part of your body. Some nerves are much thinner than a strand of hair. Others are as thick as a bungee cord. All have an important part to play in the nervous system's non-stop communication process. The nervous system processes almost everything you do. It helps you laugh and scratch your chin. It helps you run and walk and swim. It lets you scream with anger and shout for joy. It lets you smell potato soup simmering on the stove, hear squirrels rustling in the leaves, and see a brilliant sunrise peeping over the hill. Thank your nervous system for that tingling feeling that you get when you jump into a cold stream, or the instant pain that you feel when you prick your finger on a rose's thorn. Whether you are 2 or 92, your nerves are a central part of everything you do. Next time, we'll look more closely at your body's main control center, the brain. Let's pause for a riddle before I go. I am called a bone, but I am really a nerve. My name suggests that I have a sense of humor. What am I? What am I? Give up. I'm the funny bone. Does anyone know where the funny bone is located? It is a vulnerable nerve at the end of the elbow. Go ahead and touch your funny bone. If you hit that nerve at the end of your elbow, the nerve sends a tingly feeling up the rest of your arm. If you injure your funny bone, the result is anything but funny. It can be very painful, causing numbness in your forearm and hand. So as it turns out, the funny bone is not only not funny, but it's not a bone at all. Be careful. The next time you're wrestling with your friends, you won't be laughing if you hit your funny bone. Have you ever hit your funny bone? Did you think it was funny? Probably not. Well, I'll be back next time to tell you more about your body's command center. Can you guess what I mean when I say command center? See you later. Alright guys, so my class, there's a link up here for a video I want to show you later. So remind me during our afternoon meet to show you that video. What is one phrase you could use to describe the nervous system? What is the nervous system? It's the blank of the body. It's the command center, right? It commands the rest of your body, tells your body what to do. What does the central nervous system control? The central nervous system controls the functions of the body and all of the other systems. What makes up the nervous system? The brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves. What is the purpose of the network of nerves in the nervous system? What do they do? The nerves link the brain and the spinal cord to muscles and other organs all over the body, sending signals throughout the body. What is a nerve? A nerve is a bundle of fibers. At the beginning of the read aloud, you stood up and stretched. Describe what happened between your brain, your muscles, and your bones. Once the conscious, voluntary decision to stand up was made, electrical signals were sent from the brain down the spinal cord along the nerves to the muscles involved in standing. These signals coordinated the timing of the muscles to contract and told them how long to contract, helping the bones to move. So a reflex action is an action that's automatic, unconscious, and involuntary. It just happens, right? You can't make it happen or stop it happening. It just happens. What causes a reflex action to happen? Well, the nerves from one part of the body send signals to the spinal cord, which send messages back to the muscles, sometimes not involving the brain at all, right? Because it's something that needs to be done fast, usually to protect your body from harm. So I'm going to read this paragraph, and then we're going to figure out what's the main idea or central idea of the section, and what's one key detail that tells us that this is the main idea. Some nerve cells collect messages from parts of your body and from your environment and the world around you. These nerve cells are called receptors. Receptors collect messages through your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Each of your 5 senses works with your brain to help you understand the world around you. Eyes pick up light and color and send pictures to the brain to help you see. Ears pick up vibrations from sound waves, carrying them to the brain to help you hear. All right, so what is the main or central idea of this section? You're going to answer this for me and tell me what it is. And then you're going to give me one of the key details, one of the things in this paragraph that tells you that what you said was the main idea is the main idea. You're going to find evidence in this paragraph that you chose the correct main idea. All right. So if you said something like the main idea of this paragraph is that nerve cells called receptors collect messages from parts of your body and from your environment and the world around you, then you were correct. Or that nerve cells called receptors collect messages from your body, that would be correct. And then you could really use any of these sentences as a key detail, right? We know that these are all about how the receptors collect messages from your body. So you could say, eyes pick up light and color and send pictures to the brain to help you. That could be a key detail. Our word work for today. In the read aloud, you heard you make voluntary decisions, consciously controlling your own actions with your brain. You also heard most likely you jerked your hand away from the heat very quickly, almost unconsciously. Say the words consciously and unconsciously with me. Consciously is similar to voluntary, meaning done on purpose or deliberately. You chose to do it. Your brain made the decision to do something. Unconsciously is similar to involuntary, meaning it's done without awareness or control. You didn't choose to do it. Your body did it without your brain even having to think about it. I was so consciously focused on listening carefully to the teacher that I unconsciously dropped my pencil. Right? You didn't drop it on purpose. It just happened. What are some things that you have done consciously or unconsciously? All right. Good job, guys. Hope you enjoyed learning about the nervous system, and I know I look forward to the next lesson to learn more about the nervous system.